Well, my top 25 rankings went over well, especially down in Austin. So let's do some rankings of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. Where's Arch? Right now on Rise and Shine College Football. Good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Welcome back to the show. Our boy from the Coach Smook Network. It's our boy Smook. What's up, man?
What's up, man? You see me? We getting it in this morning. Just got done with my morning show. You already know Fridays.
Yep.
The bros gonna get together.
Yep. Friday's the day, man. Friday's our day, man. It's we do Big Monday with Marcus, and then they usually come on this show too. But
yeah,
they're a little bit. Marcus is in Norman right now, and then Norman, stop it, and then and Big Bo was busy today too. But Fridays are good. We could kind of BS and do some different stuff and just kind of screw around a little bit. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit today about the SEC's top quarterbacks a little bit. But man, did you get a load of all that crap? And we catching hell over that damn top 25 ranking, bro.
Hey, I played it safe because I was gonna put my graphic out there right under yours, but I was enjoying the commentary in the comments because a lot of people are pissed off about the Texas drop, but I did give them a little love when they said your Oklahoma bias did show with putting them jokers at 14. I did say that.
Now I don't agree because I think Oklahoma's got a chance, and that's still like 7th in the SEC in the rankings.
I think Oklahoma preseason. We're talking preseason, post spring. Looking at what they brought to the table, I don't think they're top 15 yet, bro. I gave them 18 on mine. I know you were in my show. I said 18, and that's a 1-2 game difference. You know,
here's the thing. Wherever they end up is wherever they end up. But I didn't want to. I would definitely. I think they've got a chance to make a run. 8-9 wins is like where I feel like the bottom is. They could make a run at the playoff. We'll see. But we got to see it happen before I wasn't gonna rank them in no top 10 or nothing like that.
Yeah,
but
Texas right outside the top 10 makes sense to me, right? Like I don't know why they're tripping about it. It makes sense. It's still
a bunch of brand new players, man, that are going to play. I mean, you got 4 brand new offensive linemen, a new quarterback. I know it's the Golden Arch, but it's still new. He's still new, first year starter.
He got a lot. They got a lot to cover, man. Not just with on personnel. Just the schedule itself is going to be a little bit more tough with a lot of those big games they had at home. They're on the road now, you know. And this young team now, Texas at 11, and the way their schedule is set up, week 3 they could be a number 4 team if they're undefeated. So that's not a bad spot for them. It kind of is a good spot for them to be at 11 if these were official rankings, because you're putting yourself right there in the mix of what's happening.
Well, I can understand why all the well, I do understand why the big media is putting them all up at the top and stuff like that. And Arch, they stand to make money if they're you know, they want to prop them up. They always do. They always have. Good morning, Brian Sandlin, David Whitehead, Brandon Snake, Corporate Duck, Crucifix Autumn, Bishop Frank, everybody. Kobe, he's still here. Just my damn opinion. Oh, there's our boy Shouty. Corporate Duck. Yeah, see, they still hanging around talking that shit. He says 3 new alignment. Okay. Whatever, man. in any event, y'all starting a lot of new guys, and a lot of stuff has to go. Here was the one point I'm going to make about it. And we don't have to keep on talking about this because it's dumb. But the one point I was making about it was this simple as this: if they didn't go and win the Natty with all the experience that they've had the last 2 years on those teams, and they didn't win the Natty, why the hell are we going to think that a bunch of new dudes are going to go in and win it?
They think they did. They think Texas thinks they pulled an Ohio State. That's what Texas fans think. They think they went to the portal and pulled Ohio State, but no, you didn't go get a starting safety from SEC defense. You didn't go and get
the best safety in the country,
in the
probably
country,
the best
right?
defensive player in the country, maybe.
I would give him the best defensive back in his draft class. I give him that hands down. I gave him the best defensive. I gave him the best player athlete in his recruiting class when he came out.
He was the number one, wasn't he? Wasn't he the number one player
in his class? But overall recruiting records, I think he was like the third highest rated overall rated recruit in the history of the rankings. So this is a quality kid, and he's taking it from one university.
They got the best offensive player in the country, Jeremiah.
I ain't gonna say that. I think he's definitely one of them, but he ain't the best in the country.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say he's the best in the country, but anyway, and probably the best defensive player in the country too. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. He's there. There's a couple of those dudes out there like that. You got one of those guys on your team too. You know what I mean? So Ryan Williams is a dog too, but that's the thing is all these you're replacing all those receivers too. You got Ryan Wingo back, and come on, man, he had one 100-yard game. They ain't the same.
We'll see, man. I think they have a chance, just like a lot of teams on that list, man. To just be competitive. I love the 12 team playoff expansion because it's preseason stuff like this. Because now you're not just limited to or basing it off of like four teams, man. Like you got quality teams. We've always had it to where like, what if 11-2 or 10-2 Bama that year would have played who was it that year that went? Bama missed it by one game. I can't remember. But what if
the year that it was TCU and Georgia
I think what if Georgia Bama gets that what if we get that rematch? You know, opportunity to see that rematch in the play. That's a good playoff. You get what I'm saying? So that
didn't they split on the season or something anyway?
Huh?
Didn't they split in the season?
No, what happened?
They didn't play that year.
Yeah. What happened, Bama? I think we lost our second game to. I think Auburn beat us, kick six, the kick six year. That was the year we had the 2 losses. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
But you got to think like games like years like that where you have teams that literally you lose a rivalry game or you lose an away game on the road, a conference game on the road. Like those games, those factors matter. Let's not act like they don't. And then you now. We need to direct our attention towards strength of schedule and making that a factor because now you will start to see
last year.
It sure wasn't. It sure wasn't. Not when you have, 4 teams because they lost in their conference championship or 3 teams that lost in their conference championship and 3 other teams who had
I think you have to start
weaker strength of schedule than the other teams that you held out.
Indiana didn't play a team that made a bowl. That they didn't beat a team that got into a bowl game. What the hell? I mean, we're talking about how great they were. Come on, man. They got the brakes beat off them both times they played somebody good. You know what I mean? What's up there?
Bro.
Old Cap'n Crunch here. What up? What's up, dog?
Neilio, what's good, man?
Neilio, I got backed up on some super chats you sent through Venmo. Man, I appreciate you. We got like 4 different super chats from him. My man. Boy. It's always good of him. It's over, Coach. We won it. We won the Natty. Get over it. You talking about that year that they won it? Oh, in 20? You talking about in 20?
Who?
When you winning the Natty? What Natty you winning? What are you talking about? The last one was 21 that they won it.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, ours was 20. Bama was 20.
Yeah, they won in 21 and 22. My bad.
What up? What up, Delio?
Appreciate it, Neilio. Appreciate the super chat in here too. Love you, pal. Smoot nose ball. Hey,
A
man.
little something. I try.
Little
I
something.
try, man.
Yeah, we appreciate having him in too. It's always fun, man. It shows this show's fun too. I love watching your show, bro. You get out there. But yeah, man. So anyway, looking at yeah. Look,
It's a
I
fair
understand
list.
what you were
I did
talking
say that
about Florida. You wouldn't have probably put them in the top 10, but
they right there on the edge, just like Texas for me.
I
Like,
think they kind of have to prove a little something. But they
yeah,
won 8 with that rough schedule that they had last year too. If
exactly.
Lago is healthy, they're a problem because their defensive line is really good. That man, I don't know, man. They're a problem if Lago is healthy.
And that's if he just develops in the passing game too, because they got some hidden gems at wide receiver, some experienced pieces. Then they got a few young pieces that's really locked in. So I don't know, man. I think this is a fair list. Other than I think Auburn was kind of a push. I think, but I get why. I get why you have them right inside the top 25. Hugh Freeze, all the weapons he has available on that offense. Auburn usually puts something together defensively to they're either
They
going
had
to
a
be
pretty hard
very
hitting
dominant or
defense
they're going to
last
be.
year, but
What's that?
they had a pretty hard hitting defense. They didn't run the
That,
ball enough last year. It didn't seem like, man. They
that
should have
part.
had that cat.
They didn't have anybody to run it with, and that's another thing. They didn't have an O line, so they got a lot of things to figure out, and it's a lot of it was due to experience. So, and me being a Bama fan, being unbiased as much as I hate Auburn, they have weapons that if it clicks
Oh,
week 7, I
when they
don't
got
want to see them.
Singleton, that was nice too. Getting Devin Singleton out of Georgia Tech. That kid's a
Mm-hmm.
baller.
Mm-hmm.
I was not happy about that. And then already having Cam Coleman too. Cam Coleman had a year. He had himself a year.
And that's why I said
He's a
you
good
you
player,
said
man.
you said best offensive player in the country. I look at Cam Coleman, man. I know we got Ryan Williams at Alabama, but Cam Coleman is just, and I've seen him play in person a lot.
He's a baller.
He's just as explosive as those other two. And
Boganowski's son played with him whenever they were stationed down in that area.
yep,
He played against him and with him in like 7-on-7 and
yep.
junior football.
So it's a thing, man.
But he's a bad dude, man. He's always been a bad dude.
On the field and on the court,
Yep.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So much spread. That's why I said this is a fair list. 1 or 2 there that we might disagree on like completely, but Auburn was the one that I was like, I just got to see it come together for them. But I get why with Hugh Freeze being there. Hugh Freeze is a great offensive mind, so can't you never count him out when he got
Well,
weapons.
here's the thing about Auburn. I mean, if I'm putting them anywhere, it's at the end of the top 25. But I would tell you that as far as I don't think Jackson Arnold, I don't know if he even wins the job. I don't know if he has the job by the time he gets to Norman in week 4.
You think
You're hearing a lot of stuff out of there that he's just kind of I heard Hugh Freeze talking about he needs to get his confidence.
And if that's the case,
he's still broken.
If that's the case, man, and let's be honest, like unbiased, if that's the case, then that usually happens in the season. You usually find that in the live action, and meaning like he's gonna take a hit and that might wake him up, or he has to have that bad game where he gets benched and then the guy behind, kind of like what happened with Milroe his first year as a full-time starter. Arnold, I don't think he's gonna have that same type of leash because what he has behind him. But if it's a confidence thing, one good game in that early part of that schedule that favors their team is going to have him in a good enough position to compete. So it's small things like that could really be the tilting factor of the season for them.
Well, I've heard the Deuce Knight's been looking pretty good too. It's kind of how I feel, but we've talked a lot about Alabama, and I have them in the top 5 because I think that even if I would tell you that if you think Keelan is as good as Ty Simpson, then you should play Keelan. But I think that at some point in the year, you're going to end up seeing him a lot, even if they're winning, and I think they will be winning. I think Alabama's loaded.
And to be honest, Jason, I went back and I looked at our schedule now that the spring is over, and our schedule is very favorable. I'll go as far as to say we probably got one of the softer schedules in the conference this year. You look at we open up at Florida State. We know that's a mystery, right? Everybody knows it's a mystery. We look at what they did last year. It's kind of one of those things where you're like you're not sure what's going to happen with Florida State. You know they're gonna get talent. You know they're gonna be able to get guys out the portal. You know they're able to recruit their state.
Yeah.
But you don't know. But then UL Monroe, Wisconsin, at home. Then we go to Athens. That's a test. But after that, you got games where year 2, based off of what the way Kalen DeBoer and Alabama finished, the talent that were coming back, Vanderbilt through up until South Carolina. Those next 3 games, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Tennessee. The pendulum is kind of, the weight is kind of shifted in favor of Bama. South Carolina should be a test in South Carolina.
Yeah,
LSU, Oklahoma,
really
and then Auburn to end the season. That's a pretty tough schedule at the end. But up until that last gauntlet, Alabama has a favorable opportunity to come into that gauntlet. 7-0, 8-0.
Yeah. Oklahoma's last 7. I mean, we're showing Alabama here, but with Bama, yeah, I think obviously the South Carolina. I don't know, man. Every time they get expectations, I'm not a Beamer guy.
And then that's what I always say that. But just to play it safe, because Beamer looked like a different Beamer last year.
Defense. Everything I keep hearing is they lost one of the All-Americans, the edges, but they lost 2 or 3 other guys on the inside too.
But you got to remember, they played a lot of guys last year too. They dealt with a lot of injuries last year. So a lot of those starters that hit the portal or that are gone, they didn't play a lot last year. You look at their production, South Carolina, a lot of their second and third string guys were the guys in that front 7 creating the impact for that secondary that was getting all the attention. So they have a lot.
Yeah, their edge guys were really good too.
Yeah.
But and Beamer there's something, he just doesn't, I don't think much of him. I just don't think he's very good. I just don't think he's very good. And when he does his little shtick that he does when they win, it's one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they lose, it looks terrible. I just think it looks terrible. But no, I think Tennessee, man, look, you think Joey Aguilar is going to be better than what Nico is going to be, I think you're crazy. And they didn't really bring a lot of guys. They didn't bring anybody back hardly. I mean, they lost the best parts of their team, so it's hard to believe that they're just gonna rebound. I didn't put them in the ranking at all. And Texas
I didn't either.
As far as I'm not. Listen, guys, you Texas Tech talking people, I'm just gonna tell you, I don't give a shit how much money they spent. I've covered Tech. I've been around Tech for a lot of my life. I'll believe it when I see it, okay? When I see it, I know they added a lot of people.
They did, man.
A lot of money.
And that's the reason you have, in today's day and age, you gotta expect them to win 7. Like, they're gonna they're winning 6 and 7 right now. They're gonna win 7. They got 2 or 3 games on that schedule that
last year. They won 8 last year, so they should be an improvement.
You get what I'm saying? So they could
in the Big 12. It's a toss up on who's gonna do what. But I like Avery. I like Avery Johnson at K-State. He's got Matt Wells calling plays for him here. They're probably, Dillingham's doing it right at Arizona State too. So and with having his quarterback coming back, I could see those two. BYU, for whatever reason, they just keep on beating everybody else. I don't love their quarterback, but I have to see it, man. I'm gonna have to see it from Texas Tech, man.
Yeah,
I just have to be it.
Right. Man, let's get into this quarterback conversation, man.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I got some good insight and some debate.
All right. Well, let me go with the second part first. The back end. Let me grab it.
Hey, chat.
Do it.
Anybody else drink cereal milk? Best milk ever. Cereal milk.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Love me some cereal milk.
What do I just do with this? Oh, it's got to be right here.
What's up, Thad? I see you in the chat, brother. Checking in, AAA family. Kimberly K, what's good, girl? You in the game, shawty. You're in the game.
Put him in the game. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
My daughter is so funny. You know that's her voice, right?
I knew it was. Yeah, you told. I think you told me that a while back. But
yeah. So she every time I call her now, she be like, "Daddy, anybody subscribe to my my song yet?" I said, "Baby, they're not subscribing to your song. They subscribing to my channel, but your voice is definitely."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she's so funny.
Hey, man, I forgot to put, where he plays at, but 11's probably gonna get trigger old Shoddy right now. I don't know that I believe in Gunnar Stockton just too much yet. Obviously, starting at the back, Zach Calzada, Blake Shapen, don't believe in them. I honestly think that Mississippi State should be going with their freshman. He's a stud,
Mhm.
straight up.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would play Blake for very long. It I think that, yeah, if he's lucky, he's the 15th best. Bo Pribula, he's been a backup, man. He's been a backup, and he's a backup to a guy that hadn't done a ton. So I don't really understand, I mean, I think Mizzou's in for a rude awakening this year too because of the fact that they're just they lost their quarterback, they lost both their good receivers. Their defense is gonna still be pretty good, I think. But we'll see.
I don't know on the back end for Missouri. I don't know if their secondary is going to be pretty good. I know they got the safety. They still got the safety, right?
I believe so. Man, I'm gonna have to let's look up their depth chart real quick.
I think his name was Cheryl. I think that was the safety. He's second round, first round type talent. Probably won't go that early in the probably won't go in the first round. But
Well,
he's
I think they got the running back that they brought in from I think he was from ULM. He's a
yeah,
Mississippi.
he's still there.
Yeah,
But
they
I
just
mean,
brought him in this year, and he looks like he's going to be pretty good. And they do run the ball well. That's what they do pretty well. But I just think that they're about to take a step back. So they brought
this is
in.
the transition year. This is that patch over year, kind of like what Alabama had to go through, bro. You might I feel like they might be in a few games, and in games that they should win, they might drop one or two of those because of what they're dealing with this year. But
Well, and they
next year
got
they'll be
Kevin
set.
Coleman to come in over from Mississippi State to play receiver. So I mean,
Man.
I don't know. I mean, he's all right, but
Mm.
I think it's going to be tough. But then let's see where was it? Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of transfers. What they're showing here is starting, but it's transfer guys a lot. Ahmad Hardy. That's who we were talking about. Ahmad Hardy, the running back,
Yeah.
and then but they've got both of their tackles are transfer guys. So they had lost some on the line anyway. Both of their tackles that they're showing starting are transfer guys, and then we'll see on defensively. Yeah, they still got some seniors that their starting defensive line pretty much is all senior guys. Zion Young and Chris McClellan are still there.
Yeah, that's why I was saying on the back end is where I think they're gonna have to figure some things out.
Right. Yeah, as far as like yeah, they've got a graduate player in there, Dalen Carnell. I don't know. That's where they got him at like a nickel guy, but then Drayden Norwood, he's a transfer, but this is his second year there, I think. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, man.
So Cheryl is not in that secondary anymore. You don't see a Cheryl.
I don't
Let me
see.
see.
No, no.
Yeah, if he's gone, then that changes their second. Like that, even
Yeah.
for me, it changes the whole spectrum of what their defense does on the back end now for real because he was the signal caller for that
Yeah.
defense last year. And Vanderbilt's defense created problems in a lot of games. I think it was the Texas game. They should have won that game. I think that was Vanderbilt in Texas.
Oh, Vanderbilt. We were talking Missouri just now. Were you talking
Oh
about
yeah,
Vanderbilt?
I'm tripping. I'm thinking black and gold, brother.
Yeah, either way.
Let me stop.
Well, and then so moving up, I mean, I only have Jackson better than those last 3 guys that we talked about, Jackson Arnold. I just don't I mean, we're gonna have to see it before we saw too much craziness from him last year.
Right.
So, Joey Aguilar, I mean, I know he had a pretty good he's had a good career at App State, but it ain't the same as, so I don't know, and I just don't see it. Gunnar Stockton, I don't know what we got in him, man. I don't know what we have in him. That's all.
Let me get this on some real. I think Gunnar Stockton, if he would have been the starter, or would have been given the opportunity last year, because I mean, before Beck got hurt, they felt like even in spring, you heard a lot of people coming from Georgia camp saying that Stockton was the one lighting it up in camp. He was going to be. A lot of people felt like he could push for that starting position. I think they have a lot of confidence in him because it's what Mike Bobo's offense wants. And when that happens, it's not a very productive year for Georgia. And I've said this a lot of times. The reason why Georgia looks so good offensively, one, you had Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey. You had a lot of weapons, right? But then you also have you had the young what was the Stetson Bennett, who could play off schedule. That was his preferred style of play, to play off schedule, and that's what helped that offense. So I look at it now. You muted. I think you muted.
Yeah. He's a competitor. Is what he was. So
he played off schedule, but Garner kind of gives them that same type of feel.
Well, I mean, he held on to beat Texas. I mean, he had to play the whole second half.
So
I mean, yeah, I mean, but we'll see. We'll see kind of where he ends up. I mean, he may end up better than that. I mean, here's the thing. With the way that that they play, he just doesn't. He has to hold on to the football. Don't turn it over.
That's it.
And they should be good to go. Obviously, Diego Pavia just above him, and then Marcel Reed rounding out those last 8. I don't know. Marcel played really well starting off whenever they put him in last year. It didn't seem like the last 4 or 5 games he was very good. But I think he's got dynamic stuff that they didn't have with their quarterback before. And I think it kind of works with their coordinator, former quarterback himself, Colin Klein. So
what he started 6 games total last year?
I think he started most of them by the time it was all done. It was because
he was playing a lot, but he wasn't starting. Like
that's true. They didn't. Well, I know that as soon as even in that first game when they lost to Notre Dame, and he kept throwing what's his name, Weigman kept throwing interceptions. And where did he end up, by the way?
Connor Weigman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember where he went. It seems like that's wild. Anyway, he was a 5-star guy. So, but anyway, whenever I just saw Elko on the sideline screaming, "Run the effing football," over and over again, like run the foot, because he kept throwing those picks. So it was pretty wild, man. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like. Go ahead.
So 9 through 16, I could rock with this.
Yeah.
I would have. I think I would bring Arnold up. I mean, not Arnold, but Garner Stockton. He gets in my top 8, and of the rest that you don't have labeled, I probably would have Marcel Reed at 10.
Yeah.
And then for me, the kid out of Mississippi State falls at 9, right there outside the 8. Blake Shapen.
Okay. You like Blake?
He falls at 9 for me. Yeah. He falls at 9 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here comes the first half.
Let's get it.
Better half. Boom. So obviously we'll go from back to front, but Taylor Green, I think he's a dynamic player, man. He's a dynamic player. He's, second year and when you get a chance to play, golly, there's a bunch of comments. Whoa, what's happened? Pavia coming already proved better than many of the quarterback on the list. He's a runner. What? Who's
nothing, man?
16. Hey, welcome into the show, all you folks that I hadn't. Let's just welcome them in. Moosehead, what's up, man? Shawty, obviously, good having you in here. Reese Fullerton, Kobe, Donald Pulaw, Fence Post, the old Fence Post, arguing with the Fence Post. R. Moosehead, JW Crunch, Tennessee Longhorn. Thank you all for coming in here. David Whitehead, Bob, TP, Mr. Dilligaff. Man, we got a crew in here. I think some of you into Sooners for Life. Good to see everybody in here, man. Good to see everybody in here. Shout out to all the guys from the AAA fam, man. We
love AAA fam. I see y'all over there. Much love to everybody. All 7, 8 of y'all over there. Showing love, man. Y'all continue to like and share. I know this. Listen, if you are tuning in from the Coach Smoot Network, we'll be moving this solely to to Jason's channel throughout the summer. I just want to come live. Chill out. I just want to come live and let y'all know, from this side to start tuning in so we can get this buzz going about.
Oh yeah, he
Rise
did
and
go to
shine.
Houston. That's right. I forgot about that. He went to Houston.
Yeah. Wagman. Connor Wagman. But yeah, man. All right, let's get into it, Jason, because
Wow, right?
this top 8 is these, I believe, are the top 8 quarterbacks in the conference, right? I don't like your order.
You don't like the order?
I don't like your order.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be unbiased when I say this.
Go ahead.
Archie Manning is number 2 behind Garrett Nussmeier.
Nah.
Yes, bro. Of the quarterbacks in the SEC, I knew you was gonna give me that.
Yeah.
But he's Mateer, I'm not giving him his credit until he could prove it in the SEC. I've seen Archie have success in the SEC. I've seen him get his rhythm taken from him and get thrown back in and put them in position to be in the league. So
I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. I just think he's a first-year quarterback.
I don't think so, man. I really do believe he has the talent to be what Texas is going to need him to be competitive. I don't think they're going to have an elite offense starting off. But by the time they figure it out, it won't be like him being.
You don't have to worry about him at all.
His
Right?
stats and stuff won't be that far behind the leaders of the conference. But the Texas as a whole might be behind. They might be out the playoff runnings or whatever. But Archie Manning's gonna produce, man. He's gonna have a big year. And then I know he's gonna come back next year. I think that following year is really when we're going to see the talent really flourish after they get some cohesiveness and some continuity on that roster after losing so much this past year. And then
what has Nussmeier done as a quarterback? Oh, he threw for 4,000 yards.
4K for like 2 years in a row, I think.
Yeah. I mean, what are we talking about, bro?
Second most touchdowns in college football, passing touchdowns in college football right now, with less starts than the leader.
Anybody in the country better than LSU's? Yeah.
I mean, and this is the problem with fans, man. Like, we like to talk football sometimes, well, all the time.
And here's the thing: what did he do? He threw for 4,000 yards, and they've got stud receivers that just walk out of the damn swamp. It's what they do there.
Mike Jones was good, brother.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. What's up, chasing? Oh, chasing a bass.
Yeah, that boy Thad out there. But yeah, I think Nussmeier gonna be solid. I think he's number 1. I had Manning at 2. I had Lenore Sellers at 3. I just like him.
I like his upside.
Yeah. I feel like if South Carolina takes off, it's because of him.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Now he's got it's Coach I's nephew. Oh man, he's a receiver. Dang it.
Talking about wide receiver?
Yeah. He's good. He had a good year last year. Dang it. Why am I forgetting his name? Come on now.
I'm about to pull the roster up. Don't panic. Everybody stay calm. But nah, man, I like Sellers there at 3. And then I have
he's gonna have to have he's gonna have to be great for them to win a lot of games, right?
Sellers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Just because of what's around him. I think they have some pieces that just need, like with the situation you said with Jackson Arnold. Can he get his confidence? I think Sellers is everybody else around him that he's going to have to.
Like he got hurt in some situations too, where like that into that LSU game, him getting hurt wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Manning beating UGA at home would have been reason to up his stock. Yeah, listen, he got in and didn't look good. But you are playing Georgia's defense, it's tough. Harbor can't track the ball. Yeah, you're talking about. Yeah, it's Harbor. No, not Harbor. That's Nick Harbor. He's got all kind of speed, right? But he hadn't done much as a receiver. It's Maceo is Coach I's nephew.
Bennett.
Maceo Bennett. That's right. Yep.
I don't know why I've been calling that boy Mauricio Bennett. I can't read. I've been saying that boy name wrong this whole time.
He's pretty good player.
But Harbor is a big body, bro. Like that's a big body receiver. And
Wyatt, and well, he should be playing defensive end from what we hear. He was going to play defensive end anywhere else.
6'5", 235, bro.
Yeah,
that's a big receiver, man. That's bigger than Calvin Johnson.
I know. And he's
what do they have up their sleeve? You know what?
Speed. I mean, you know.
That's what I'm saying. What do they have up their sleeve, bro? That's what I'm saying. That's what I think about when I look at South Carolina and Lenore Sellis. I think he has a few weapons that if they figure something out, it could be scary.
They didn't really win a game that was like a great win.
Right. But they were in a lot of those games, though.
Ole Miss blew their asses out at home.
Ole Miss we didn't know what Ole Miss was going to show up. You know, Ole Miss, they did a lot to a lot of teams. They
busted up UGA too.
They should have really blew UGA out. Like for real.
They did. They kind of did.
That game should. I kept telling them Georgia fans.
Just the little bit that we saw Austin Simmons, I still think if you're going to go and play for Lane, he looks good. He's a lefty. He's got a rifle though.
He different, bro.
He drove right down the field when he got in there against Georgia.
He's different, bro. He is.
I like him.
Different, and then
I think that they don't have as much as they had last year as far as talent especially on the defensive side. But they're going to bring it on offense.
Mm-hmm. And he's an athletic kid too. He can move with his feet. He's a strong runner. He's smart. The baseball, a mental mind state or whatever, kind of has him prepared and focused, and he doesn't get shook a lot, and he could take a hit too. So. I mean, I think you're getting to me, honestly, a better version of Jackson Dart, a bigger and better version of Jackson Dart.
Yeah, listen, that's what I was saying that. I was saying that this morning. I think it was actually to Moosehead was saying something about that they're missing a lot of pieces. I was like, yeah, but I mean, they've got 10 win seasons in history. Lane's got 3 of them. You know what I mean? He's only got to ever get 11, and then. I think he's underrated. I think Lane's been underrated as a coach for a while now.
Yeah.
He got better and better. Obviously, going to Alabama didn't hurt him. But I would just tell you that I think that I think that, Austin's going to be good. I think Archie's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. This is his 3rd year in the offense, so he knows it.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But again, you got a bunch of new guys, a bunch of new pieces, and we'll see kind of what happens. And, that first game right out of the block, going to the shoe, you're going to find out a lot about him then.
Mm-hmm.
Find out a lot about him then. So that'll be, if you get a win like that, all of a sudden he shoots up everybody's list of Heisman front runners right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lenoris is right there. I like Lenoris. I like Lenoris a lot. I like Ty Simpson a lot too. I almost feel like, I don't know, man. I was going to tell you this. If they were playing the kid, he might be higher on this list.
Me too. I said the same thing. If Russell had got announced, if he had took their confidence that like that in the matter of 6 weeks of let's say 9 weeks on campus, and he took their confidence, I would have top 4 Keelan Russell. Cause why not? You see what that staff was able to do with Jalen Milroe for the first half of the season, bro. They kept that shit afloat. And Milroe, not only did they keep it afloat, but Milroe, he got better as far as passing from last year up until this year. They showed that they could develop. And then you get a guy like Russell, and you got Simpson on board, and you feel confident enough to go out and announce Russell as I'm running with you, coach. I'm running with your QB. I ain't got no reason to question. And so, but like you said about Ty Simpson, I had Ty Simpson at my number 5. I had him at number 5. I think he's in the same boat as Mateer. Let's see you turn it over now. Let's see you put it on the field. We know you got when you open the book and you look at quarterback, you'll see John Mateer, you'll see Ty Simpson. They fit the persona. They fit they check all the blocks. Can they turn it over? Can Mateer do it in the SEC? Can he do it against a different style with a whole new group of people? Right? Can Ty
Right.
Simpson do it in a new system now as a first year starter? We've kind of seen him in spot duty. We've scouted him for a while. We've got to see him in different times throughout his career. Now, with everything else around him, the other quarterbacks available in the conference, you got to say that he's definitely top 5, top 6.
Yeah. I think he's right there. And I would tell you that as far as Mateer goes, he led the nation in touchdowns last year. You know, you don't want him running as much as you saw him running at Washington State, but I do think, you know, looks like you're gonna get Giovanni Gibson back pretty quick. Deion Burks is back. They just went and added another big body guy in the portal. And then, you know, to go get Jaden Ott like that, I think that's a big deal because this is a guy that in 3 years, the parts of 3 years, he's got over 3,000 yards. He's got 30 touchdowns, you know, total touchdowns, over 3,000 total yards, and he's never put the ball on the ground as a running back. All-American. He was hurt a little bit last year, but having a guy like that and the offensive line being improved, I think that can only help your new quarterback. The other thing is this is his 3rd year in the same system with this offensive coordinator. He's helping coach him up and get him ready, and he definitely has better weapons than he had at Washington State. You know, so I'm excited about John Mateer, but I mean, to me, I think Nussmeier, I think he's the best quarterback in the country. Not just in the SEC. I think he's the best quarterback in the country right now. I think DJ Lagway has a very good chance of becoming that guy too. From what we've seen of him, he's the real deal. So, you know, we'll kind of wait and see how it goes. But I think Florida, like you said, I mean, if you can you're going to have some. They've got the second toughest schedule in the conference behind Oklahoma. So, and it's just right. And they played in the same one from last year too. So, yeah, listen. If they can get some of those wins, they get Texas at home. I think that's one of those games that Texas is going to struggle. It's hard to win in the swamp anyway, but you know, I think that's a good one.
It's going to be funny. It's going to be interesting watching Lagway because they just promoted Callaway as the offensive coordinator, and how much play calling is he going to do as first year play caller at Florida? How much play calling? Because Napier, he handed the play calling duties over last year and reassumed them halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So
Billy's not giving up the playbook, bro.
I don't know, man. They a lot of people in that camp and that report on Florida, they've been high on Callaway, for a while since he joined staff. I want to say at 23, 22. So they've been high on Callaway. They've always kind of liked his offensive mindset. I think he was like the pass game coordinator for a minute, for a while. And we know what their quarterback situation was, but he was a big part of DJ Lagway's commitment to Florida. So it might be something brewing there in Florida. Like I said, Florida is one of those teams that's just right on the edge looking in. For me, 1 or 2 games, 1 or 2 plays last year, that's a different win-loss ratio for them. And they won 8 games last year, right? 8-4 last year with that schedule. So if we're talking about a team to watch for and a quarterback,
they were 7-5, and then they won their bowl game.
Yeah, the bowl game, 8-5.
Yeah.
So Florida's right there. Yep. And then
yeah, I think that they're going to be a problem, man, with their defenses being. I think it's just as much about their defense. Their defensive line is nasty. They ever since when they promoted the defensive coordinator last year over the youngster, it was the right thing to do, and it turned it around immediately. So I think they're doing good. I hate it that they are, but it is what it is.
Right.
Let's see. We go. Florida should have beat Georgia. Well, if Lagway wouldn't have got hurt, they might have.
Listen, Donald, you are preaching to the choir with that one. I remember coming on live or doing a post-game live reaction, and Georgia fans, they love to talk about a win is a win when they get those games, but they went into that game. A lot of their fans went into that game thinking that Georgia was going to blow Florida out. And I kept telling people, we were doing our pre game picks. I kept telling people, Florida is not a bad team. Florida is not a bad team. You watch a Florida game from last season, they had players all over the field. They just had a few spots where they were undisciplined, and then the quarterback situation didn't get figured out until midway through the season. And when Lagway was appointed as starter, the whole persona of the team changed. Everybody believed in that young man.
Well, and I mean, and honestly, their other guy hadn't played terrible. He got hurt bad.
Graham Mertz, right?
Graham Mertz, yeah, he had a pretty good year starting off with. I mean, but he got hurt right away, and then they knocked him out of the game, out of the season real quick too. But you could see there was a difference in that team whenever Lagway played. When he became the starter, there was a difference. So I think hey, listen, you still got to take that next step. It's the same thing I've been saying about Oklahoma. I believe that Oklahoma is going to be a lot better with this quarterback. I mean, you can find 4 other games at least that they should have won last year or had opportunities to win. And, had it not been for some just ridiculous stuff on offense, I think they at least win 2 of those, so that's 8 wins. But that's with the worst offense I can remember since, back in the 90s, man. I mean, it was awful. So to not have any offense and to have a defense like Oklahoma has, I think John, and he's confident, man. He's coming in with confidence, out there talking shit and stuff with the defense, competing. I love it. Do I like the OC? I do, Mike. I think he's going to be pretty good, man. This is a familiar offense for Oklahoma for sure. And he's been killing it everywhere he's been. So, yeah. I mean, he coached Cam Ward that other year for 2 years there, or no, that 1 year. And then, of course, he's had Mateer. So, I like him. And it's good to have, that you got him as a package deal because that way and, like I said, we needed better quarterback play. And I felt like they should have played Hawkins a lot more than they did last year, especially towards the end of the year. And, it is what it is. I think that had to do with NIL money and shit like that more than it had anything else. But, which I don't like.
Well, what's the chairman of the collegiate studies, U.S. chairman of collegiate studies, Nick Saban, is going to put a change to all of that. MAGA.
Oh. We're not going to get political up in here. We are not getting political up in here.
Look, man.
Firing shot. Man, listen. I don't know what they think they're going to do. I think you have to go through the courts to do that no matter what.
It's going to be crazy.
I got to tell you, I feel like, and no shade to Nick Saban, but come on, man. He was upset about the way things were.
I mean,
he left because
Jason,
of that. He didn't want to continue doing it.
Why should he, though? Somebody that accomplished. Come on, Jason. That's like somebody coming to your channel.
You're not putting the toothpaste back in the tube, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if we're going to have it, he's saying it's cool to have it because we can win it whichever way you want to play it. That's never been the issue. It's just what it takes away from the integrity of something that. Just think about it, man.
You have to have parameters. I think you have to have parameters. What I would and what I wrote a column about it last week too. That I felt like it was. I absolutely felt like it was just a lot of, and I do feel like this with a lot of coaches, Dabo Swinney included. A lot of these guys, I'm like, come on, man. These guys have been not getting paid all these years, and guess what? They didn't make these rules either. The kids didn't make the rules. So when you start complaining about, and the other part that I've always thought of, the players that go into the portal. They announce they're going into the portal, but a lot of times they're asked to go into the portal.
Right.
So the reason that they're not going to tell you, they told me to go in the portal, because it makes them look like shit, and they want to make sure they get another shot somewhere else, right? But a lot of times they're being told you need to get in the portal because we don't have anything here for you. Well, that makes them they'd rather look greedy than look like they suck. So and I think that's a fact. But the truth is, all this stuff about Nico, I've been saying this a bunch. Bro, Tennessee started that shit with Nico. They taught him how to do business, and then they bitched about it.
You know what? I ain't even going to say that. I think And if you do your history, your research on his family, like this was a plot from the jump, man. Like when you get in the loophole, especially in these the 7-on-7 circuits, that's where it really started. Because they're changing money and money's changing
Right,
hands
that's
in the
what I'm
summer.
saying. Think about that for a minute, Smook, because they were paying him in high school, and it
Exactly.
wasn't supposed to be an inducement at that point. So they're about to get in trouble with the NCAA. What do? They sue the NCAA, and
Mm-hmm.
that takes away basically all the parameters, whatever parameters they had, which wasn't much.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just get pissed off at players for playing the game that you put in front of them.
Yeah. So,
I mean, collectively bargain it. If you collective bargaining, then there you go. You can make whatever rules you want. And if you do collective bargaining, that will give them the power to not have all that shit get taken to court.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And see, why are we scared of that? Because now the ones that don't matter in the game, they don't get their cut. That's the problem, and that's the backlash. So Coach Saban is not one of the ones that don't matter. So how is he going to benefit from? You know, he's outside of it now, so he doesn't benefit from the rules that he's trying to imply. So what are people getting at? Like, you can say about the past, we've been doing it. LSU, Alabama, Georgia, all your powerhouses have been doing it. You don't get an inner city kid to come out of state from Georgia to go to California by just telling them, hey, you can come play football on TV for me. You don't get them like that, because they could go right up the road to Georgia. They can go from Columbus, Georgia to Athens. I played with kids or young men or men that did that. Jarvis Jones went straight to USC. One of the best linebackers to ever come out of Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia. Signs to go to USC. Out there, the lifestyle is different. Vibe is different. He got to work to get on the field. It's a different vibe. He homesick. First chance he back home. Almost lost eligibility. Transferred. Had to sit out a year. Came back to Georgia. Ends up being a first-round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. Jarvis Jones out of Georgia. So now Portal has eliminated that whole waiting process, but you see what the waiting process did for him? Made him respect the game, and then he ends up being a first-round draft pick. Right now, Nico can leave UCLA next season.
Oh, yeah.
He could leave, he could announce in the middle of the season, hey, I'm hitting the portal, and start having his agent talk to other schools and start receiving pay.
Yeah, listen, and that's all I'm saying is the game is like it is because of the way that it was handled. Hey, man, the lawsuit was going on for 10 damn years before they did anything about it. The Ed O'Bannon lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they weren't gonna win that other lawsuit. That's what they were being told from the Supreme Court. But the point is, I'm not blaming these players for it. I'm not doing it. And I agree that we need parameters, but if you really want to get that antitrust exemptions and not be getting sued all the time, just collectively bargain.
Facts.
And you know what? They talk about, well, how come they don't have to, they get to decide every year. The coaches want it that way. If they didn't want it that way, it wouldn't be that way. They would sign them to longer deals.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they could sign them to a longer deal, but they like having the ability to say, okay, well, we're not going to renew your scholarship, renew your NIL, whatever, and run you off if they think that they can get somebody better. So in order to be able to do those things, you have to be able to, you have to concede something to them guys. That's how it should be. And I just think, man, for all the years that they've done these kids wrong, I don't love it. So
right.
I hope that you know, I don't know. Andy Staples said something yesterday about, it's weird that the Texas Tech guy is the co-chair. The billionaire guy from Texas Tech is the co-chair with Saban, because they don't want the same things. You know, it feels Staples.
That's how you get the balance, though, Jason.
They want to go back 10 years, and that's what Staples said. And then the guy from out there at Tech, you know, with all the money, I don't know exactly what he wants, but it doesn't seem like they're going for the same things, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you got to have that balance, because this is something new when you talk about introducing it and make it a public thing with it, you know, players being paid for their name, image, and likeness. So I think we get somewhere with that move. Not necessarily. I don't think we see an immediate impact like 2026, but like 2028, 29, we'll start to see the recruiting landscape really level out again and really mean something. And
Well,
then
I
the
think
portal,
though, just for instance, it feels like everybody's spending now in the 20 and a half is now just it's the entry fee, bro.
yeah,
That gets you into the dance. It don't get you no drinks.
yeah, exactly.
You know
So,
what I mean?
and this is what I'm saying.
That's where
28,
you
29 is
separate,
when it
right?
starts
That's where you
seeing it.
separate.
That's when you start seeing that separation, and we get closer back to what we knew college football to be, with some regulations around them receiving money. It'll be a while. Be about 4 more years. It's gonna get worse though. 26, 27. Those players probably gonna see money no college player ever seen. 26, 27.
Bro, I mean, well, you heard Michigan last year was talking about that they expected to spend 50 million this coming year, this next year. And I mean, watch what the figures that they're talking about right now that Texas is 40 million, 45 million for this class coming up.
That's crazy.
How can you enforce collective bargaining when most of these schools are taxpayer funded? That's I
You
don't
can't
know.
factor
Oh,
in
hold on,
media
bro. They're
revenue. You
not
can't.
really, but they're not taxpayer funded. The programs are what's funding the athletic conference school, any power conference school. Football does it.
Yeah,
Basketball, somewhat. Yeah.
yeah,
There's two revenue sports. So it is what it
for
is.
sure. But Jason, I gotta head out, man. You know I gotta. It's Friday. We gotta get ready to get set up for our gaming content. Get
Yeah, I still gotta get to work too. So
Yeah, man. And I like both the lists you had out today, man. Keep doing those. I'm gonna start providing some reaction content behind it, so that people could continue to see our network of creators that we are building over here. And then
love it.
just to announce it again, guys, every Friday throughout the summer, I'll be joining up with my brother at Hall of Fame, Jason, and we'll be having others on. Y'all know Big Cuz come through, Big Bo come through, man. Everybody, Coach come through. We're going to start getting more people on and just vibing like we do, bringing up these topics and creating conversation. It's fun. I have fun over here. That's why I continue to come. And so,
Yeah, bro. I appreciate
thank
you
you
coming in, man. I appreciate you coming. It's always fun. We
for
always
sure.
we get to talking some smack and cutting up with it is what it is.
I'm
Always.
horrible, man. I gotta go eat something, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm hungry, bro. I think
I got some work to do too, so I'm gonna go for about another 10 minutes. So I'm out.
For sure, man. We'll catch up, bro. And family, everybody over the Hall of Fame side, appreciate y'all. AAA family, thank y'all for being here. Tap in again, once again. I'm Coach Smook. When y'all see me in the streets, holla at me. Put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch up with y'all later.
In the game. All right, coach.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you soon. Later. Coach Smook. Coach Smook Network.